Camera number 348 of 365 is the last of the Canon A series that I have, the AT1. Like the other A series, it requires a battery to operate, and the battery is housed in this little compartment here, which normally comes open quite easily. There we go. And it houses a 4LR44 battery in there, 6-volt battery. And then once we've got our battery in, we can check the battery. There is, by sliding around the rewind crank, there is this little lever here which turns the camera off, on and battery check. So if we do that, battery check, looking through the viewfinder, we have this match needle system. There's no aperture or shutter speeds, just a needle, and when we test the battery should go up, confirming that our battery is good, and then we can turn the camera on. The camera really can be anything you would like, really, in terms of aperture priority or shutter priority. Camera takes FD lenses. I've got an FD 50mm 1.8. It can of course take FL lenses or even R lenses, but then we would need to stop down for metering, and the way we do that is this little lever here, which actually doubles up with an FD lens as a preview button. You can probably see the see that. Oops. Need to press that button. You can see the aperture going down there. But if we had an FD lens, which have an FD lens, then we lock this button into position. I'm not quite sure how I did it actually. There we go. And then that means that when we have an FL or an R lens, when we close our aperture, it actually closes the aperture down, and then the light meter can do its thing, measuring the correct aperture. Okay, so make sure to turn that off, put the lens back on. So when I say the camera can be anything you like, what you can do, of course, is take the lens off the A position here. If we can do it. It seems very stiff, this one, for some reason. There we go. So we can either, looking through the viewfinder, we can either set our aperture, as in aperture priority, and then look through the viewfinder, and then with our first finger here, we can change the shutter speed until we get the needle in the eye of the meter there. Or we can alternatively choose our shutter speed and then change our aperture and do the same thing, get the needle accurate there. So it's totally up to us in terms of that. Our film advance, our shutter actuation. We do have a self timer, which is actuated by pulling the lever out of the shutter button. We have a little light there, and then I think you can see that. There we go. A little button that counts, or light that counts down the self timer, and then there we go. We have a little port for a flash synchronization, and of course the shutter button has a provision for cable release. And I think that's pretty much it. We lift up our film rewind crank, and then we can put our film in, and then take our shot. There we go. I have to say, I do like these A-series cameras. They're all kind of very similar, but the AT1, perhaps an underrated camera, I think. Obviously lives in the shadow really of the maybe the A1 or AE1 program, but nonetheless I enjoy this camera a lot, and I hope you do too. That's the Canon AT1, and that has been camera number 348 of 365.